Well, I want to thank you so much for tuning into always informative, always entertaining, the Boxing Authorities. Joining me at the desk as always, Mr. Luther Dupree Jr., Mr. Smoking Jim Frazier, and my name is Claudio Relsano. Have to wish Mr. Dupree a very special birthday. Luther, happy birthday, brother.
I appreciate
All
that.
Right. Enjoy the day and year.
Catching up to you guys.
What's that?
I'm catching up to you guys.
Oh,
one day I'll
you got a ways with
status.
him.
Yeah, I
you
got
got
a
a
long
ways
way.
with him.
Got a long way.
All right. Before we start again, enjoy the day and enjoy the year.
I appreciate that.
We're going to start off with some sad news. Legendary Mills Lane, the Let's Get It On guy. Everybody had a ton of respect for Mr. Lane. Fighters, promoters, managers, other referees, fans. Well-known guy, Hall of Famer, unfortunately passed away. So we want to send our condolences to Mr. Mills Lane's family, friends, and fans, and the whole boxing community. So, again, our sympathies to. Any thoughts about him?
Man, one of the best ever, man. You knew it was a big fight. Let's get it on. You know,
Yeah,
he had that voice. He had the look, boxer, judge, referee, just legendary. And he brought a lot to the sport. When you talk about Hall of Famers, people that are going to last forever, he's one of them. When I say Hall of Famer, that's what I'm talking about. You can't write the sport without a Mills Lane. I love seeing him out there. It's just a sad, sad loss for boxing.
Yep. And whenever he was reffing, Jim, you knew who was in charge. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't one of those guys that had to make damn sure he was a part of the fight. You know, a lot of these guys like to get in when they're not supposed to. So I know I can see you have a bunch of things you want to say about him, but we'll skip it. You have anything to say about him?
Yeah, I mean, 85 years old, he had a good run.
I'll take 85. All right. Okay. All right. This is kind of a two-part thing. This show and our next show, we have our ESPN fights, and we have another pay-per-view fight, which I know Luther has some comments about. We're going to start with the ESPN fights. The first fight of the night was Keyshawn Davis, who is now 7-0 with 5 knockouts, fought the veteran Juan Carlos Burgos, who was 35-7, 5-3 draws, 21 knockouts, 3-time title fighter. He fought for the title 3 times. Luther, Keyshawn looked great, dominated. Your thoughts?
He looks solid, great. I wouldn't say great. I'd give him a B on this. I thought he could have done a couple more things. You know, he fought a guy, a veteran, but a little long in the tooth. But they did have my favorite referee currently. He makes the best faces. He's always in it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's him. That's him. And if you can't make him make one of those faces, you don't get an A. Because it don't take much to make him get one of those faces. He fought a guy long in the tooth. I used to go in some senior citizen homes, and he looked like a couple guys I've seen. I would have liked to see Keyshawn get him out of there. I think he should have gone to the body a little more. I was rather disappointed.
Really?
I was expecting more. I was expecting more. Keyshawn, I have the bar set pretty high. When you start getting out on social media, calling out a Devin Haney, going after Earl
not yet
Spence.
now.
No, he called him out.
I know,
When
but
you're
he shouldn't.
arguing with
Let's
Earl
not go
Spence,
crazy.
you better put on a show and you better start knocking C-level guys out. I give him a B- on that.
And that's what kind of the way Tim Bradley was. And I was thinking about you when
As
Tim
much as I
Bradley was
despise
saying-
Tim Bradley, I agree with him on this. B-, I was not impressed with this performance by Keyshawn Davis.
Jim, you think it was Davis to be disappointed in, or give Burgos credit? He's a veteran.
Well, I said from the beginning, Davis didn't impress me, and
did?
I took a lot of heat from that. I'm shocked that he got a silver medal in the Olympics. I want to see who he beat. Listen, if I had him, I would do one or two things. I would either sell his contract to somebody, or I sell him out. In essence, I would try to get a million. If I can get $1 million fight right now, and I do
You
him
threw
like
him against Spencer.
I do him like they
Crawford.
did Leon Spinks. Before he get exposed, I'd put him in there with somebody to get a big payday,
Wow.
and I'd be done with him. Lou gave him a B, but he's a C-level fighter, man.
He's not a C-level. Come on, Jimmy.
In my opinion.
how's he a C-
In my opinion.
Wait, what makes a C-level fighter then? Jim?
Well, I tell you, he's average, and C is average. He's an average guy.
Well, as you know, I write notes during the fight, observations, okay? Liked his angles, okay? And the angles, he didn't get hit, and he threw nice punches. Great feet, he slides, shifts over. Not again, doesn't do a Muhammad Ali or Sugar Ray, but just shifted over like a quarterback in the pocket, like a Marino, okay? Not
Speaking
like,
of that, he looked like Tyler Huntley from the Baltimore Ravens. That's what I thought it
after
was.
they hit her before.
Quarterback
gosh.
in the pocket.
After they hit her before. I like the fact that and Luther didn't like it. Well, he didn't do enough of it. Okay, but I like the fact that he hits to all parts of the body. Okay, I like
I
that.
didn't like his body work at all. I thought he could have done more.
He could have done more, but I like that he hit different spots. Okay, doesn't admire his work, which I like that. He was calm, professional, young guy, fighting a veteran, wasn't worried about anything. He's also something, he wasn't, some people, they get labeled counterpuncher. He was a counterpuncher, but he also threw the first punch several times. I liked the way he fought. And I was surprised that Bradley, once you can't knock everybody out. Burgos is a veteran. He's tough. And again, I give him credit. He won all the rounds. Okay, he dominated the fight. He won all the rounds against a veteran. I'll give him an A. I'll give him an A. A plus would be a knockout.
You grade on a curve? You grade on a curve?
Against you guys. Jim
has the worst round, first two rounds.
Right, yeah. But I like what I saw. I like the maturity. But again, if he'd have fought a guy who was usually a guy who's 7-0 fights another guy who's like 6-2,
True,
5-4. He fought a veteran, a 3-time world champion fighter, contender.
So what you're saying is he's a lightweight with a bantamweight punch.
No, but how many?
Well, maybe Burgos has a nice chin.
There's not a lot. How many times has this Carlos Bungo's been knocked out?
Yeah,
he hasn't been knocked
his
out a
nose
lot.
was right there to be hit.
Oh, and
he kept hitting his nose.
And he was getting hit, but he's not a guy who's been knocked out cold. He's not that guy. He's not that guy. He's been
And how many
beaten
misses
7
did
times.
he have?
Yeah.
He did not miss much. He was very accurate. That's
Very
another
accurate.
thing.
But I question. I wonder how much power he has because he was laying some wood on him. But I think if he go into the body a
Does
little
Haney
more.
have a ton of power?
Hey, Haney's a different. Haney's undisputed right now. He's in a
Shakur
whole
have a
different.
ton of power.
Hey, they're all they've all been champions. We don't know. They have more
I think
speed.
this kid-
They have better jabs. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm not going to say he's
Keyshawn's
an
young in his career.
undefeated guy yet. I'm not going to say that. I don't want to upset you on your birthday. We're not upsetting Luther today. Okay, another fight. Xanander Zayas, who's getting a big push, especially in New York. Luther, your thoughts on Zayas and the fight?
Yeah, I'm starting to feel a little Edgar Berlanga right now, a little hype train. He got the victory, unanimous decision. I was higher on him before the fight, but Top Rank has a way of moving guys, so
was waiting for
they're
that. Yeah,
fighting
you're right.
the right guys. But I saw some flaws in his game. He's at 154. You think Charlos. You think the Fundora. He has some talent there. He's going to have to tighten some things up, tighten his defense up. His offense is a little predictable at times.
Good
so
point.
I
Explain
was
that,
disappointed. It's the same punches. He's not.
good.
He's not changing angles. He doesn't move his head off the line, and that's why he was getting hit. As you see, every time he gets hit, he's not moving his head right at all. So a better fighter will be able to take advantage of that. Look at that, a straight left, not even a great jab.
See, now you're right.
So
Very good.
you keep your head on the line, you can get hit. And I think once he moves up to Iron Man, Charlo, those guys, he's going to get a rude awakening. I give him a C. A lot of improvement is needed. I hope he's not the next Edgar Berlanga.
Smoking Jim.
Well, I tell you what, I seen an interview with this young man, and they asked him about Benitez and Trinidad, these other great, Puerto Rican fighters who won titles young. He turned pro at 17. He said it's because of the beans and rice. He said that makes him strong, because I know it ain't the music. I tell you what, these Puerto Rican fighters come out flat with that music. You like that music, Lou? But I tell you what, man, I think he was a little cautious. Fighting in the 200-year-old Madison Square Garden. You don't know when it's going to crumble.
That's a legendary
Don't carry his weight.
Who wins on Madison Square Garden? Only Jim.
I give this guy an A. He's the face of boxing. He got a contract when he was 17 with Top Rank and some of them or whatever he got. This is a guy that has all the tools in the toolbox. I tell you what, he's exciting. I put him in right now, and I'd favor him right now against Charlo.
And you'd be insane.
This guy, like you said, you struggled to come up with some names at 154. You were stumbling to come up. But this is a name. This guy, I tell you what, man, it's easy. I'm thinking, my goodness, is it 3-4 times a year is Puerto Rican Day in New York?
Yeah,
I mean,
he's in the parade.
Yeah,
he's heading
in
up the parade.
It's Heisman Day, Puerto Rican Day, taking over everything. But in New York, I tell you what, this guy, they love him, and I think he got the heart of a champion, and he definitely got the talent of a champion. I gave him an A+.
Well, now, something Luther said, now Salazar was tough. I'm not saying he wasn't bad. He was tough. But somebody like Charlo, like that one clip we had where he threw the left and he kept it down, Charlo would have banged him real quick. Do you agree with that? I mean, it's another. You don't think he'd have exposed that?
He doesn't like Charlos with their red hair.
You
Only
see that
Canelo.
Oh, wait a minute. That's right. Yeah, you're always ripping on us because red hair. But when he had that Salazar landed,
Salazar. He came back. He countered him. He leaves. That's what I'm saying. He leaves himself open quite a bit.
Right.
You know, he's been able to take it from lesser level competition, but the Charlos, the Fondoras,
They
the
will not
Castanos,
miss it.
They're not going to miss those openings.
Now,
And then you got to remember, Spence is also coming up. He's not beating Spence doing that stuff.
Well, number one, I like what you said about the predictability. That was a good comment. And again, Top Rank, they do move their fighters well. Here's some of my observations. He was accurate, okay? Again, I like that. He was very busy.
Yeah.
Very busy. Yeah. But he needs to be better defensively, like you say. He took some shots he didn't need to take. And one thing I'm always looking for, do you admire your work? Like that when he threw a left and he stopped. And Salazar threw a punch that kind of hit him in the shoulder. But a Charlo would miss that shoulder and catch him on the chin.
Catch and shoot will get him. Catch and shoot.
Catch, shoot, yeah. Throw it and get the hell out of the way instead of, you're not Reggie Jackson hitting a home run and watching it. Reggie wasn't having somebody throw a punch at him, right? So I think he admires a little bit too much. But Salazar was a good opponent for him to see. That's why I like, even with Keyshawn Davis fighting Burgos, now we won the fight, but there's some things we need to work on. If he'd have fought a guy who was, again, 6'5", 6'6", and dominated him, what did we learn from it? Now, with Zayas, Salazar was a good opponent. Let's see what we need to work on, see what we need to fix, what we need to improve on, see what we did well against a tough fighter. But I do think that Bob Arum picks and chooses. I think we can make a buck
Those
on
matchmakers
Have
are
you ever
excellent.
listened to Puerto Rican music? You can't even salsa to that.
Now you're on.
Hey, did you like what he wore? He wore Clemente. He wore
I love
Clemente.
that.
I love that. Santoris.
And then when I
Crabs.
seen Clemente on the back, I was
Yeah.
so prideful.
I saw
but Clemente's one of ours. They stealing Clemente from us. He's a black man.
You know, I didn't know that he had Clemente in the back.
Y'all can have A-Rod. We got Clemente.
A-Rod, you got to take A-Rod. But Santoris, as soon as I saw Santoris, I thought of Clemente.
Yeah.
I didn't know
It was
that
on
he
the
was
back.
going to
That was
honor
nice.
him.
I like that.
Yeah,
I
that
like
was nice. That was nice.
He has talent, but there's still layers he has to, you know, there's still a lot of work that he has to do. I saw a lot of flaws.
Also see
They
that
gotta move.
flag in the stands.
The what?
The Puerto Rican flag.
Well, next time
in
they're
the
going to
stands.
honor
No,
him.
you're going to be on the flag. On the,
he's
come
on
on,
I'm just
Jim.
saying, I seen it.
Oh.
We're saying
The
we seen
food, the
jersey.
music.
Okay, come
Hey,
on,
we're
Jim.
saying what we noticed.
Direct
I noticed the
your
flag.
comments towards him, not Luther and I.
Don't get us censored, Jim.
I know. No.
Some of us go to New York here and there. I don't want to be mixed up with you,
Wait,
Jim.
he goes everywhere. He's the traveler. They're going to say, wait a minute, aren't you the one who was ripping on us? No, it was Jim.
Jim.
That's happened to you before when
Oh,
Jim's ripped
man,
on
yeah.
some people and
Yes.
they took it out on you.
I wouldn't have had this birthday messing with Jim.
I'm telling you.
Couple places.
But when do you think he would be ready for a title shot?
Ooh, you know, no time soon. 2023 is to continue to fight these B-level opponents, but
Build your record.
yeah,
Improve.
yeah, he has to improve a lot of things. He's still young. He still has time. Don't move him too fast. He's not ready.
And then I forgot to ask you, how about Davis? When would you like to see him fight for a title?
At first, I was high. That was a big step up from the guys he was fighting to Carlos. I'd keep him at this level for a little while. Bomac is his trainer. I'm not very impressed with Bomac. We've seen so many of his fighters take L's other than Bud Crawford through the years. So he has a long way to go. He's a couple years off as well.
I think, what's his name? I'm losing my mind. The other guy with Bradley, the Hall of Famer, son of God. Andre Ward. I think he said he was ready for a title shot now, if I'm not mistaken.
He did say that.
I don't think he's ready for a title shot just yet.
If he fought the,
Although your philosophy would be, let's squeeze as much out of him now while he's hot.
He's
Out of
young,
Keyshawn Davis.
Jim. He's a young fighter.
well, let me talk about the Puerto Rican first. He's ready for a title shot. His next fight, he's ready. He's the face of boxing. He's great. Keyshawn Davis is the worst Olympian I've seen since Leon Spinks.
Jim,
I'm telling you, I
come
would
on,
get him a
Jim.
payday before he got exposed. I agree with Andre Ward here. Go ahead, let him go ahead and get knocked out by somebody, get a payday, and hopefully he'll take care of his money.
He's in 135. We know the undisputed
I
king
would either
is
sell his
Devin Haney.
contract if I had it. Whoever want to buy his contract, if I get the right amount of money, I would sell his. The
out while they
Louisville group that had Muhammad Ali for years, they still got it. I'll sell it to them.
What do they say? Get out while the getting's good.
Get out while the
I don't agree with that.
He's a young fighter,
Yeah.
Jim. He has plenty of time, just like Zayas. They have
last
time.
fighter from Virginia that did anything was who? Okay, thank you.
Jim, you
Thank
get caught
you.
up in these regions.
No, I'm just saying.
Listen,
Well, I'm
if
just,
you
I'm
got
just
it,
asking.
okay.
I'm just asking.
How many guys?
He
hit the silver
dedicated
medal?
to fight
He
to
coulda-
Virginia.
He could have
Stuck
easily
out
got
the
the gold.
He must not care for Virginia
Yeah,
too much,
yeah.
right?
Is that a Commonwealth?
Hater.
All right, one of Jim's favorites, Jared BigBaby Anderson, with a second-round knockout of a very tough game, Jerry Forrest, which we said he was going to be tough. Luther, your thoughts on the fight?
Well, I thought he was going to be a little tougher than this. I mean,
Jerry Forrest?
Yeah, he got sparked in 2 rounds, Claudio.
Luther, but he was throwing punches.
He got
And he
sparked.
hit and he landed.
Maybe we have a different viewpoint of what tough is. I thought he was going to last more than 2 rounds. He almost went out in the first round. I mean,
That ref was like,
the ref,
he was really-
he got hit 100 punches in the first
140,
round.
yeah,
Over
114,
100.
yeah.
Listen, Jared BigBaby Anderson is the next American heavyweight champ. He's ready now. When he does,
ready for what?
He's ready for everything.
Tyson
That-
Fury or Deontay Wilder?
All of those guys, yes,
Oh.
yes. Because Tyson Fury is older. Here he is in the corner. You know, he plays around. He started off in the softball stance.
I don't like
You
that.
know, and the one thing about him, he moves his head. He moves straight back, so you can catch him coming back. But like I said, this is a very average heavyweight division. Most of the top guys are in their mid to late 30s.
Yep.
He's the youngest one. You know, get him in there, power in both hands. Jerry Forrest, we saw him. He took Zhang to a draw. He's been in there with some tough guys. Took a lot of punishment. Bring him in there. I mean, I would have him at least fight for a championship in 2024. None of these guys
yeah.
impress
I'm with
impress
you
me.
there.
The rest of this year, get him a
with you there.
Dillian White, get all these guys on his resume. Joe Joyce, that would be a great fight as well. If Joe Joyce doesn't get Usyk or Fury, make that fight happen. I think he's ready. I'm not impressed with the guys ahead of him, and I think he can match up with all of them. Jared BigBaby Anderson, Philip Herkovich, I've been telling you guys about them. It's time for these guys to mix it up. Although I think he was getting hit a little too much in this fight, 2 rounds, but the guy couldn't hurt him. Jared BigBaby Anderson has a chin. He proved it. Came in like the Grinch. Did you like his uniform, Jim?
I was going to ask you that.
He came in like the Grinch this time.
I wish he'd have kept the mask on.
Okay, to Luther's point, and he makes a lot of good points, I do like that Luther said 2024. I think, before I go with my observations, I think they're going to look at Fury being older, Wilder being older. Who are the young, Joyce being older? Who are the guys coming up? He can beat all those guys. Let's wait and put him in at the right time. Do you think is that how you would manage him?
Well, first of all, last time I saw the fool was Marvin Hagler came in conventional against Sugar Ray Leonard, and Sugar Ray beat him half to death in the first round. This fool comes in fighting softball, but Forrest got him out of that softball stance real
did.
quick.
He's working on some
Came
stuff.
in with a smile. He's joking in the locker room. I never seen Foreman, Liston, Marciano joking in the locker room. He's laughing, wearing a mask, but he got caught with them left hands.
Yes, he did.
And they got him out of that softball stance real
Quick.
Real quick.
You're right.
He's
And
working on
I
stuff.
tell
Let
you
him
what,
work.
he may be a champion one day. I'm not saying he's going to champion, but he'll hold the shortest reign ever because he can't beat Richard Torres. That's going to be
Oh,
the next
stop,
American
Jim.
champion. That's your next American
This guy's
champion.
fighting Mexican Uber drivers, man. Come on,
Well,
Jim.
yeah, he'll make the Grinch look like an Uber driver too.
We have a show called Steel City Sports. No, pre-snap. Steeler pre-snap, where Luther always asks for bold predictions. Now, not only did he predict that BigBaby was going to be champ, but he said a short reign. That's a
Short,
I don't agree with it.
Shorter than Andy Ruiz. Ruiz had it in July. It was going by December. That was pretty short. I mean, there's been a lot of short
Prince
range.
Charles had it for 83 days and wasn't
Prince Charles Martin, yeah.
Yeah,
Had a bunch of
about that,
observations.
right around in that same ball.
He's got to stop the southpaw thing. He did that his last opponent, and that guy stuck him a few
But listen,
times.
you want to work on. He wants to work on
Why?
these layers.
Why?
You might need to pull it out against someone. You never know.
He's
Claudia
got
had
enough
more
ability.
layers.
Did Foreman do southpaw?
No,
Did Evander do
no,
southpaw?
no,
Did Marciano,
no,
Buster, Tyson,
no,
Liston?
Liston, no.
You guys
name me
are
another heavyweight.
overly critical.
Name me one heavyweight that did that. I don't remember.
Nobody did it. Nobody.
So
did it.
why do it? Like, if you're not that impressed with Jerry Forrest, he was landing some big shots. That guy he fought the last fight when he dressed as a
criminal.
Joe. Yeah. he landed some shots. That guy.
This
Then
guy's
right away, like Jim said, he was going like this. All of a sudden, he's getting stuck. He's all hell. I better go conventional.
Listen,
Don't
this is
do it.
boxing. Guys are
Luther,
going to get
but you
hit.
can't do that in training.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In football, they don't work on a flea flicker in the game. They work on it in practice.
Right, exactly.
Okay?
It probably works a lot better in practice, and you got to do it in the game time. He has to work on some
Would you,
things.
in boxing, somebody like Jerry Forrest he's going to do that against Wilder?
He better not do it
That's
against
what I'm
Wilder
trying to
or
say.
Fury.
Don't play.
But against these guys, you can work on
Don't
it. Plus,
play.
Listen, you could switch it up. You never know. You want to have more layers. What do you guys always say about Bud and Boots? You know, they could go switch.
But they
from
can. They
conventional to
don't get
southpaw.
hit. He was getting stuck by
He got hit.
second-level fighters.
Okay, and it did it affect him? It
They
showed
hit-
he had
no,
a chin.
it showed he got a
It
chin.
showed
I'm
he
gonna
had a
write
chin.
Big pimping.
Well, when he came down pimping, he had the cane in the right hand.
Yeah.
Now, he can play with that and do it on the left hand. That's different, but not in the ring. Okay, stop the southpaw. He gets hit too easy. Long jab. Man, he's got a long jab. Liston had a long jab. Buster had a long jab. But man, I don't know what his reach is, but he's got a long jab with some pop on. Takes too many shots. Doesn't need to do it. Again, no offense to Jerry Forrest and that last guy he fought, but even when he was conventional, he got hit with some shots. But he proved, sometimes, what do we say, a guy early in his career, what do you always say? We don't know if he has a chin.
Yeah.
Well, Forrest landed some flush shots.
Forrest
He
has
didn't even,
power,
he didn't
yeah.
even, that one, for the first minute, it was a little bit of a catch, but after that, he has a good chin. He needs better defense. Okay, he's not one of those guys that can go in there and take 3 shots to give 1. He's not a power guy like that. He doesn't need to take any shots like that. I know he's going to get hit, but not like that. He needs, I don't want to say he's not, he is tough mentally. I did write that. He is tough mentally. Forrest did not quit. He tried, and he didn't back down. Whenever you get that much fluff and that much attention, and somebody hits you, you know, damn, maybe I'm not. No, he kept going. You know, he kept throwing punches. So I like his head. 104 punches he threw the first round. Very busy for heavyweight. Good feet. Jerry Forrest
You were gonna
was
say
a
Forrest Gump.
Jerry Forrest was a very good opponent for him. Tough guy, hard to get out of there. Tried hard, and now again, Jared Anderson knows who he is. And I'm gonna give you a birthday present. All right, ready? I didn't write this down. Oh yeah, and I do think he's ready now for contenders 6, 7, 8, 9. But here's my birthday present for you. Ready? I think that Jared BigBaby Anderson would beat my boy BigBaby.
Oh, there you finally you come to see the light.
I think he would.
Big
Now-
Baby's done. We could all agree, but big that's really not saying much anymore. Big Baby's done.
I think he would. I think he would be a nice fight. I'd like to see it. But in the fight, I kept thinking of Luther. I said,
Finally,
You know
but
what?
Big Baby Miller, you.
I'm not
he's
done with him.
He's done.
How
He's
about in
done.
the street fight?
well, if he's got that pimp cane, no. Okay, but
Prize fighting, Big Baby Anderson is levels above Big Baby Miller.
I think
I'm
our
glad
show
you
says
finally
more
see
pimp
it.
more than anybody. I said Luther's going to like that. But and you
That's
know, I'm
good.
not giving up on him. I'm not giving up on him.
I did.
But I know you did.
The whole boxing world did.
I know. Well, when we come back, we're going to talk about the main event, Teofimo Lopez. When we come back to the boxing authorities. Welcome back to the boxing authorities. The main event that night, I enjoyed the card. Teofimo Lopez is now 18-1-13 with a split decision win over the very, very tough Sandor Martin, who went 43-13 in a super lightweight fight. Luther, were you surprised at anything in the fight, and your thoughts on the fight?
Listen, I said this was going to be a tough fight. I said it was going to go the distance. I thought they would give it to Tio, but Xander Martin was going to win. You did say that. I said Xander Martin was going to win.
Been on this year,
yeah, I'm on. I'm always on. A check left hook drops him. Teofimo Lopez, I don't know what happened. Check right hook. His punch resistance isn't the same at 140. He didn't bring up his punch at 140. He's getting exposed. I mean, Xander Martin is tough. We saw what he did to Mikey Garcia.
Yeah.
He retired Mikey Garcia. 40-13. I feel bad. Xander Martin fought his heart out. He drops Teofimo twice. The referee only counted it one time. It was a gift decision for Teofimo Lopez. Xander Martin was robbed. Another Bob Arum special. So bad. Teofimo was in the corner questioning himself. He said, do I still have it? Do I have it anymore? When you start questioning yourself as a pro, mentally, you need to go some work. I know before the fight he was going back and forth with Regis Prograde. Regis Prograde said he would put him in the hospital. Devin Haney, Cambu has ruined Tio. He will never be the same. And we see why he never fought Devin Haney. And one thing I have a problem with ESPN, Tio was never undisputed. He was the unified champion. The first undisputed champion is Devin Haney, not Teofimo, not George Kambosos. It's Devin Haney. They need to stop that. Unified means you have more than one belt. Undisputed means you have all the belts. And for ESPN to keep pushing that line is ridiculous. But Tio needs to get another trainer. I told you guys this. Having his dad in the corner, gives no advice. Tio's getting worse and worse. He's going to get hurt unless he gets a better trainer. At some point, I agree with Jim. Sometimes you got to let daddy go. And right now, Tio, you need a better training system or you're going to get hurt. He's done. Mr. Frazier?
Well, I hope the girls don't think that way. Hold on to daddy. But, hey, listen. Is Caleb Williams still speaking at the Heisman? I mean, that's the longest Heisman.
Let that man speak.
That's the longest.
It's history,
That's
Jim.
the longest speech I ever heard in my life.
Hey.
But hey, listen.
Did you vote for him? Did you vote for him?
No, I always vote the first week of the season. So I voted
gosh.
for the quarterback from Kentucky.
Oh, boy.
First week of the season.
Yeah. But hey, listen. This guy is a great marketing kid. He had a great career. Fighting on Heisman Saturday brought a lot of energy and stuff like that. But when I look at him now, I'm looking at a Tank Davis.
Stop, Jim. Stop,
The
Jim.
guy that's just over here, you blaming his dad. The guy peaked, he's over the hill. He's not the same guy. Mentally, he kind of reminds you of Edgar Berlanga that you talked about. It's like he's questioning himself because he's not the same.
Like
he don't have the same skill. Pretty soon you'll see Tank questioning himself too.
Tank's never done
But again, I thought he won the fight even with the knockdowns. I thought he pulled it out. It's the best thing for boxing for him to win the fight, but he really have to question this again. I believe that these guys, when they run away from their true weight class, 135, because they don't have the discipline to make it, I think it hurt him a little bit, and now he's
Discipline to make it, Jim. Really?
Well,
I mean, these are young kids. How long can you stay at 135?
as long as you got the height.
Well, you know what, though? To Jim's point,
Height-wise, he fits right in at 140.
No.
To Jim's point, Pete Rose, baseball player, obviously, when he came up, wasn't thin, and then as he got older, he just got thicker. Yeah. I don't see that with Lopez. I don't think he had to really move up.
Didn't his opponent look a lot bigger than him?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, he looked wider in the whole 9 yards. Yeah. So if anybody had to struggle to get weight, it was Martin. Let me ask you this real quick before I go with my observations. You mentioned a lot of his flaws. Okay. Do you think he can improve on his flaws?
I kind of think Tio is what he is. I think he is what he is. I mean, there's a lot of bad habits. He leaps in quite a bit.
Right.
And that's what, at 135, he could get away with it. 135, he had the equalizer. At 140, we haven't seen that devastating one-punch knockout power.
Or do you give Martin credit?
Oh, Martin's good. I knew it was going to be tough. It's a shame he doesn't have a bigger name. He got the Mikey Garcia decision. He should have got this one. But Tio has a long way to go. But he talked all this stuff. He was talking on Deontay Wilder about excuses. He's out and screaming,
Stay in your own
dropping
lane.
N-words at Bill Haney.
That's how
Who?
That's how they
Lopez?
talk.
Hey, karma comes back at you fast. And Tio's got exposed. And if he gets into Regis or Antonio Russell or any of the top 140 guys, he's going to get destroyed. Ryan Garcia destroys him. Devin Haney, when he comes up, will destroy him. Tio is done.
Who do you
He's
drop
washed.
the N-word on? Do you
Bill Haney and Devin Haney.
Oh, okay.
It's all over the internet.
Okay.
Karma.
Okay. I like to see that one.
I'll show it to you.
Martin is good, not just tough. He's good. I think he's pretty good. And maybe sometimes we can say, guy's tough.
If he had power, he could be a champion.
If.
But,
Yeah, well.
But he
But he had a busted nose,
moves
he
around,
couldn't-
and
yeah.
that's another thing. Tio never was able to really cut off the ring. Just lunging in. Martin's just
Well,
running circles
that's to
around
your
him.
point.
Yeah.
Better training. Did his dad say, hey?
But better training. But as athletic as Tio is, the backflips and all that,
right.
he should be
He
able.
should
He
be
should
able to
know how to cut off a ring. He wasn't able.
Would you say his dad told him at first fight when he was?
Hey, just
against-
knock him out.
Yeah,
Just knock him
what the
out.
hell? Yeah, I
You know,
need more than that.
and
How do I knock him out?
And then even in the corner, I didn't hear him telling about cutting off the ring
Right,
or
that's
anything.
right, good
so
point.
you got to get somebody in there to improve his skills. But at this point, is Tio going to listen? In his head, he's undisputed. He's
Well,
gonna get
that's
this.
where-
But now, when you start saying, "Do I still have it?" Maybe he's
Right.
open for everything. Maybe he's going to be like Anthony Joshua and start traveling looking for other trainers. That's what he needs to do because he's young enough to change.
Right, exactly.
Anthony
Good
Joshua,
point,
no.
good point.
Tio is young enough to change,
Well,
but
he's over the. He's over.
how is he
the
over the hill? He's still in his 20s.
He had one battle where he got hit pretty good. Other than he's still young.
He's still in his 20s.
He's still.
That's
great.
over the hill.
You got him and Tank Davis, like 73 years old.
Yeah. Tank is Mike Tyson in 1990.
Oh, Jim. All right, Jim.
And
You're
I agree,
insane,
I
Jim.
disagree. I thought about this real quick, and I'll just say
You
this
thought?
real quick. I disagree with you guys when you guys made the assessment about Floyd. When I thought Floyd Mayweather would be a good trainer for Anthony Joshua, and you guys talked about Roy Jones. Angelo Dundee didn't fight like Muhammad Ali. Doesn't mean
point.
just because you don't fight like that don't mean you can't coach it. And I think Floyd can coach.
That's an excellent point.
Thank you.
I know I liken it to baseball. Ted Williams always taught a certain thing, and he wanted his players. You can't do that, and it didn't work. That's a good point.
But you said Floyd, right? You said Floyd.
Yeah, I said
Because
And
Floyd
you
was
said-
a boxer.
And you said Roy Jones. Did you say Roy, or you said that was
I
a
didn't
rumor?
think Roy Jones
I
would
don't.
be good.
Neither one of those would be.
Now,
good for
again, not
Anthony
because
Joshua.
he's a friend of the show, but I know he's trained some guys here and there. I thought Cooney would have been better than Floyd, or because he's a power guy.
big guy.
And what do you always say about Joshua? Don't box. Go in there and slug.
Right.
Not slug, but use your power. Use your height.
He'll never be a slick fighter.
No,
He's
right.
just not built
But
that
you
way.
make a good
The
point,
reason-
Jim.
The reason I like Floyd is I think you guys are missing the boat. One, Johnny Spell gave us the insight on the training in Floyd. The training camp, when you go into the military, which I know you draft dodger, when you go into the military.
You're showing
you
your
go
age,
through-
Jim. There was
you
no
go through
draft
basic-
dodging,
listen,
Jim.
you go
How
through
old are
basic-
you, brother?
You go through basic training. Everybody that comes through basic training is ready for war, and that's what Floyd
that's
does.
not true.
They put him. Let me finish. They go through basic training. You're ready for war. Now, somebody may go be a computer guy. Somebody may be a Navy SEAL. Somebody else may be working in the latrine. But they all come through basic training, ready for war, and that's what Joshua would do if he trained with Floyd Mayweather. He would be ready for war.
How many heavyweights has Floyd Mayweather trained
Oh,
that have
there
been
we
successful? I'm
go.
asking.
There
You got to have
we
the
go.
first one.
I'm asking.
But you make a good
I'm
point.
asking.
I don't think Floyd would make him. He could see that. Okay, he's not going to move like
I'm
me.
just asking,
Now, if he
Jim.
had Broner, under his stable, that I could see him because Broner's more of that style. But I don't. But
Don't you
I see
agree
what
that
you're.
everybody that goes through basic training in the Army
Is ready
for
to-
war?
well, that's what you're supposed
then
to
the
be.
next day they work at the post office and they do this.
Yeah,
and they
no,
do,
that's a good
and
point.
then there's the Navy SEALs.
Yeah.
So
Well, I said Martin is good, not just tough. He moves well, which made Tio miss, but also Tio miss because sometimes he takes those crazy.
Jump it
advances.
in.
Vinny Paz, when he was with the Duvas, they wanted him to pretty much go in there and slug when he was
love
laid
Vinny
away.
Paz.
But Kevin Rooney, when Kevin Rooney took over, he said, Vinny, we're not doing that anymore. Now, Vinny had the ability to change. If you remember during Vinny's fights sometimes, he would say, Willie Pep, Willow the Wisp. Willie would hit you and go this way.
Yeah.
You know, he would. So that's what Vinny became later on. Vinny was able to make that change. I think Tio Teofimo can do that. I think he can. He's young enough to change.
It's just a shame that all the sports writers hate Vinny Paz.
Yeah, yeah, which is ridiculous. He moves and feints nice. I like that. I like some of the feints. He could do it more. Now, he does telegraph.
Oh,
okay, he does.
man.
And one thing he
A
does
mile
do.
away, you can see it
right.
coming.
And one thing he does do is he'll do tap, tap, right. He'll paw you down. Tap, tap, right. His trainer should not just say, no, tell him, you're tap, tap. But I'm sure he does it during training too, Luther.
And I'm worried about his chin. We didn't see him get dropped a couple. I know
Well,
he's running.
that drop there, I give that more to his lunging.
But I'm
drop
saying
down. Seems like he got sunk.
a superior fight. And there was one part in the fight where he knocked him out the ring. He looked like Jimmy Young. His head was hanging. Did you see
Please
that?
don't bring him in
His,
again.
his head was hanging out the ring.
Yeah. Now,
So now
thing
what are you
I'm
going to do when a Regis Prograde gets to you?
Now, this is what I wrote a note for you, specifically for you.
Okay.
What do you think, and both of you, but I thought about you. What do you think if he starts watching, they made Vinny watch Will o' the Wisp, Willie Pep, all right? What do you think about him watching Prince Nassim Hamed?
I loved him.
Hey, he can watch them all he wants.
But he can emulate him.
No.
You don't think he can?
No.
For some reason, I saw Teofimo. I didn't say be like, Arturo Gatti. I didn't say be like Floyd. I said Prince Nassim, who would be over here and throw a hook.
Yeah.
He did all kind of crazy
Yeah, he
things.
did.
I think that maybe he
I
can
can't
do
see-
that.
I can't see it. Like I said, when I said training, I was talking more traditional, not make them more unconventional. Prince Nassim did a lot of things that you can't teach naturally.
But I think you can teach Teo that.
Well, I would have him watch.
Do you?
I would have him watch Jerry Force film Somebody Over the Hill like that.
Jerry Force.
But, I mean, you understand what I'm saying? I
I
think
hear
he's
what
got
you're
the athletic ability, Jim, and I know you love Prince as well.
Yeah.
I know you can't, form fit him into that because, again, you have to be blessed with that kind of. But this young man still has a lot of ability. He has a lot of athletic ability. He's still young. He still can change. To your
I'm wondering
point.
if he's another top-ranked boxer getting exposed as the competition gets
But-
better.
but
He's
I'm
he's one more fight away from biting somebody in the ear.
But a trainer should have been able to say,
Is
okay,
it a New
wait
York
a minute.
thing, Jim? How many New York fighters are going to bite these ears?
You lunged.
Tyson Berlanga.
You lunged and got hit. You got knocked down. No more lunging. No more jumping.
He's been
You don't
doing
have
it
to
his
do
whole
that.
career,
I know, but
though.
you got to stop. Why didn't they tell him?
But listen,
the
that's what
Italians have a saying. My mom used to say it. Give me the kid, you take the adult. I tried to learn how to play the piano when I was 27. Didn't work. My daughter learned when she was like 4 or 5. Okay.
Does she play?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
didn't know.
Well, even like speaking Italian, I learned from day one. But if I try to do it now, the hell with it. I can't do it. When you start that phrase, see, he does. You got to be a little bit more upright than that. That's what the guy told me. I'm playing some music, and I said, "Look, sir." And he got mad. I said, "Look, I just want to learn how to play a few Lionel Richie songs and Barry Manilow's." He said, "Get the hell out of here." He kicked me out. 27 years old. But you learn.
Lionel Richie's jacket.
He looks good.
Yeah,
he
he
does
does.
look
So
good.
did Lionel.
Except when they wore those space costumes. You might not remember that. You remember that when they wore? I'm a Commodores fan, and I have the actual CD, not a burnt one.
okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Not burnt. It's real. I just think he can be better. Okay, but to Luther's point, he needs the right coach. You can keep Dad in the corner. I'm not saying get rid of him, but he's got to find somebody who's going to be technically sand him up a little bit. And I would really think about. Because Prince didn't get hit much. He made you look bad. Now, I don't
Teo
want to talk to
gets
you about
hit,
Jimmy
though.
Young.
He doesn't
Jimmy
have that-
Young was hard to hit, but this guy, Prince, was really hard to hit, and he made you look bad. Teo can be that, Luther.
Teo was never hard to hit.
Right, he's right.
He's
right,
never
right.
been hard
That's
to
my,
hit.
That's my point. You don't think he can be?
No. I think he needs to go back to being a little more traditional, get with a trainer, work with some fundamentals, try to make him more,
You understand my
unconventional,
point?
Yes.
Who would you tell him to
It's-
watch? He said to watch Jerry Forrest. Who would you tell him to watch?
I would tell him to get with a Derrick James type. I love Derrick
But I mean,
James.
who would you tell him to emulate watching it?
God, not no Prince. Not no Nassim. I just think he's finished. I think he's washed.
Why
I think
not
he's gonna
Prince?
explode. Because he can't be. There's only one
That's-
Prince
no,
Nassim.
that's style.
He can't do that. Who else has done that style ever? Nobody. There's a reason for that. Nobody's going to be
Jerry
able to do
Forrest?
that style. Jerry Forrest. Teo's done. He's going to get exposed. Try to get another championship fight with Regis Prograde, and, cash in on him. He's done to me. Not the same. That dude was special.
Pacquiao fought an exhibition, which I do not. I'm glad for them business-wise, but I do not like these exhibitions. Even like my team, I get calls all the time. Let's play a scrimmage. I said, no, ain't no scrimmages. We're either playing for you'll play non-conference. But I want umpires. I want us in uniforms. I want the real thing. I hate exhibitions. I will never do an exhibition ever. Luther, he's talking about. He said he would eager to fight Spence or Bud. Now, what the hell? Now, if you're doing it for a buck, I get you're going to get the hell knocked out of you, but don't give me that.
That has no chance of happening. I'm glad Pacquiao got another
for
payday.
money.
It's
You don't think Bud or Spence would fight him?
No.
I would. I think
it wouldn't get approved. The way his wife was crying when Ugas was hitting him, if that was Spence or Bud,
I'm with you.
He might have got carried out on a stretcher. It's not going to happen.
Money.
He's trying to get another Floyd fight. That's the next exhibition. He's not fighting.
But like Smoking
Floyd,
Jim,
Pacquiao, nobody's fighting these young guys.
But what Jim say all the time, you say he won't get licensed. Everybody has a right to make a buck. Do you think a possible because Spence and Crawford will fight him? It's a name on your ledger, nice chunk of change, pay-per-view. Do you think it would happen?
With who?
Pacquiao.
And Spence?
Or Crawford.
Yeah, I think it could happen. Pacquiao.
That ship didn't sail, Jim.
Yeah, Pacquiao.
Jim missed the whole question, Jim. What were you?
Pacquiao, I was thinking about the scrimmage. Pacquiao just recently had a fight scheduled with Spence, and he still has the name, and he lost the election, so he's looking to win something. Yeah.
Exhibition with Floyd is in his future.
It's a moneymaker. I would never pay for an exhibition. But
he just, listen, watch the play. Every time there's an exhibition, these old guys will throw out a young guy to get more eyeballs or attention on it. The fight's not happening. Great career for both of those guys. Their next fight is against each other. Another exhibition for big money for those guys.
All right. Well, when we come back, our popular segment, the Boxing Mailbag. Come back to the Boxing Authorities. Welcome back to the Boxing Authorities, our popular segment, the Boxing Mailbag. Please continue to send your great comments and questions to boxingmailbag@yahoo.com and at my website, claudiorelsano.com. Okay, all three. Teresa, I love this question, from Camden, New Jersey. Ooh. Who is your dream guest? You know who mine's going to be. Go ahead.
Man,
for the show.
I'd love to have Deontay Wilder come here. Yeah, big fan. I want Wilder to come on the show. Hopefully we'll get it.
And anything's possible with us.
Anything's possible. I want Wilder.
Smoking Jim.
Who's that girl in the lingerie? Bonnie.
Ebony Bridges.
Yeah.
That's it. Ebony Bridges.
See where his head is. Mine, without question, is who?
Well, we can't have Rocky. Buster Douglas.
Buster Douglas.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm not going to wear. I'll wear my Buster Douglas shirt. I got a shirt at home. I'm Buster Douglas. I'd love to have him on. Yeah. I know I couldn't make it through. I'm going to try to get him on, too.
Yeah, we got to get Buster.
Would love to have Buster Douglas on. Okay. Anthony from Brooklyn, who is your top trainer of all time and why? Luther, I know you're big into trainers.
Listen, the best now is Derek James. I like Angelo Dundee. I like Emmanuel Stewart. I like Emmanuel Stewart.
Oh, my.
He's my favorite. I like the way, because he changed the style. He went from, middleweights. And then I think when he went to heavyweight, all these big guys now are using the style. Lennox Lewis to the Klitschko's, he changed it. I love this style because you would get action-packed fights with him. Give me Emmanuel Stewart.
Jim, I'm going to come back to us the next show with this question because I know you have some things to say. We only have a few seconds left.
I wanted to get him mad. Dang.
I know. As always, we hope you enjoy our show as much as we enjoy bringing it to you. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Boxing Authorities. And again, happy birthday to Luther Dupree. Talk to you guys soon.